If you have pets and use essential oils, listen up. Some oils that benefit us can actually be harmful to our pets. Several oils are toxic for pets, but the most common are tea tree oil, wintergreen, pine oils, and even cinnamon. Veterinarians say diffusing oils is less likely to poison your pet if the diffuser is placed away from the animal. Concentrated oils and pills can be much more dangerous. If your pet is exposed to a toxic essential oil, they can show an array of symptoms.
Your most common are going to be vomiting or respiratory issues. Also, too, though, you can see something, they can become neurologic and act really uncoordinated, unsure of where they are.
If your pet is exposed to toxic essential oils, call your veterinarian right away.